In this video we will look at a tax defer example for corporate bonds and corporate shares. The values are already set but are easy to modify. The calculations for bond interest received for each year is shown. At the bottom is a table data frame showing our values that can be changed dynamically. You can download this data as a CSV file. I will show you how to make this Streamlit app now. To create a new file using your terminal, type touchchapter2.py. Now we import Streamlit as ST. Import pandas as PD. We use two hashtags for a subheader. Tax defer example. Benefits of shifting income tax from one period to another. This example looks at investment for 3 years. The tax rate of 50% on interest income tax rate. We create function. Call label it tax defer example. TD1 and TD2 are column variables. Setting the column value to the number 2. With TD1, st.right is where we have our subheader for this column dealing with bond investment. Our example has an investor investing $100,000, which is what we set the number input value to. The step value is set to 10. Tax rate has minimum value of 10, with step of 1 inside number input. Corporate bond annual interest has min value set at 2, with step at 1. Bond annual after tax return is the calculation of corporate bond annual interest. Subtract 1/2 multiplied by corporate bond annual interest. St.metric is where our label is annual after tax return. The value with F string. Bond annual after tax return. The colon, comma dot 2F is for 2 decimal place formatting. With TD2, our second column, subheader is share investment. Shares corporate growth rate, number input with min value of 1 and step of 1. Outside the function we divide by 100. Securities earnings rate, number input with min value of 1. Step of 1 and also divide by 100 for the number input. You can ignore these st.right functions. This is just for padding the number input widgets to align on each side of the column. Shares annual after tax return. Securities earnings rate subtract 1/2 multiply securities earnings rate. St.metric. Annual after tax return. Value is the shares annual after tax return. Now we calculate the share growth for each year. Year 1 growth is taxpayer investment multiplied by shares corporate growth rate. Year 1 sum is year 1 growth plus taxpayer investment. St.metric. Year 1 share growth. Value is year 1 growth. Year 2 growth is shares corporate growth rate multiplied by year 1 sum. Year 2 sum is year 2 growth plus year 1 sum. St.metric year 2 share growth. The value is year 2 growth. Year 3 growth is share corporate rate multiplied by year 2 sum. St.metric. Year 3 share growth. Share end year 3 is year 2 sum plus year 3 growth. St.metric is share investment value. Shares minus tax is tax rate multiplied by 1/2. Multiplied by share end year 3 subtract taxpayer investment. Total value of share. Share end year 3 subtract shares minus tax. St.metric total value of share investment. With value total value of share. We will reuse the column variable TD1. Bond interest received is taxpayer investment multiplied by bond annual after tax return. St.metric bond interest received for year 1. Value is bond interest received. Reinvestment interest is shares annual after-tax return multiplied by bond interest received. Bond year 2 investment is reinvestment interest plus bond interest received, multiplied by 2. St metric bond received for year 2. Value is bond year 2 investment. Reinvestment interest for year 3 is shares annual after-tax return multiplied by bond year 2 investment. Bond year 3 is reinvestment interest plus bond interest received. St metric bond interest received for year 3. Value of bond year 3. Value of bond is bond year 2 investment plus bond year 3. St metric. Value of bond. Value is value of bond. Total value of bond is value of bond plus taxpayer investment. St metric. Total value of bond and value set to same. Now we calculate the total value on the share. Total value of share subtract total value of bond. St metric. Total value on share. Value of total value on share. We calculate the advantage of the share's investment over the bonds. Advantage is total value on share. Subtract tax rate, multiplied by 1/2. Multiplied by share end year 3 subtract taxpayer investment. St metric is advantage of shares. Value of advantage. This part is optional but is useful in calculating rates and returns, then dynamically store them into a data frame which can be downloaded. We set the data frame variable to df pd.dataframe. We are using the Python list array to pass in dictionaries with key and value pairs. Do not forget the comma at the end of each dictionary. The first dictionary has the keys of summary, amount and year. The dictionary values is using the f string for storing the user input and calculated values. All of the work was done above. It is just a matter of copying and pasting the values. After you input the values from above calculations, we call the st.dataEditor function. Pass in the df variable. We have stored the dataEditor function into df here. Next is to call your function. In your terminal you enter streamlit run chapter2.py or whatever you named your file. This will open a new browser tab.